Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Makwiny Sonko, the former governor for Nairobi, has fought very hard to have his name on the ballot in this year's general election. But Sonko has lost the battle. The IEBC finally revoked the clearance which was issued to him to contest in Mombasa. That move by IEBC is actually informed by the Supreme Court ruling which affirmed his impeachment. And the Constitution of Kenya is very clear that once you are impeached, you cannot run for a political office or hold public office. So it's the end of the road for Makwiny Sonko. But Sonko is still fighting. He's not giving up. He's escalated the case to the East African Court of Justice in the hope that he will get justice in that court. But for me, if you ask me, and if I were to advise Sonko, I'd advise Sonko to forget.
Mombasa ni mupo, Mombasa hadi Sonko ameisha. At the end of Sonko. Nani amesema end of Sonko? Nani amesema hiyo? Tuko ndani ya debe. Sawa sawa? Tuko ndani ya debe na tumeongea jana, sijaongea na watu wangu. Muendelee kuwa na imani, tuendelee kuomba. Wacheni virere wapige kelele, lakini Mwenyezi Mungu ni mkubwa, ametujalia. Review yetu tumeweka, East African Court of Appeal tumeweka, kwa hivyo appeal zetu bado ziko. Tunaendelea na kungangana. Kwa hivyo tuko ndani ya debe. Na mimi nawashukuru kwa maombi, nawashukuru kwa support. Mwenyezi Mungu ni mkubwa na muendelee na kuomba. Tuendelee na kuomba. Tuendelee na maombi.
Because it's not going to be on the ballot in this year's election. And there's a question which I am asking myself. Is it possible that the High Court ruling in Mombasa, which cleared Sonko, was politically instigated to make Sonko support Azimio? Because these guys knew so well that the Supreme Court was going to uphold the previous ruling. Because Sonko was removed from office legally, which means he cannot hold any office. So in this video, I want us to look at what next for Makwiny Sonko. Because the truth of the matter is that in this country, you can't ignore Sonko. William Ruto would want Sonko to be on his side. Uhuru Kenyatta placed a phone call to Makwiny Sonko. He wants Sonko to help him with the Igande and also to consolidate the Kamba vote. Raila Odinga is keen on having Sonko on his side. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is nowadays viewing Sonko as the only hope for Wiper and his future. So Sonko is a factor which cannot be ignored. But based on that ruling, Sonko cannot run. I don't even think whether the East African Court of Justice will be able to grant him the prayers he's seeking. But one thing I know for sure is that that court cannot interfere with the elections in this country. So which means the elections will go ahead while Sonko will be pursuing his justice. Probably the justice Sonko will be pursuing is not for this election. The Supreme Court ruling means that Sonko cannot run for any political office, even if it's MCS. So he might go to court so that that particular ruling is reversed, so that in 2027, he might make a comeback as a governor or as a presidential candidate. But what next for him? But before we get into all those details, in case you're watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. And the only request I want to make to you, it's a request by the way, please give this video a thumbs up. Just press that thumbs up button. That's the best way you can support the channel. And the other way you can support the channel is by dropping your comments. So if you drop your comments, we learn a lot. And you could also suggest for me the topic you'd want me to discuss, even as you share the videos. Now let us get back to business. Mike Sonko has lost the battle, if you ask me. It's not going to be on the ballot. But I would encourage him, if he can seek for justice so that he's cleared for future political moves, I would encourage him to do that. But I would not encourage Sonko to attempt to be on the ballot in this year's elections. That's already out of equation. But what next for Mike Movie Sonko? For me, the first option which I would advise him to do is to exit politics, quit politics, Mike Sonko, and focus on business. I know when it comes to resources you have everything. Probably you need the political power, but with this impeachment, it marks the end of your political career. So you'd rather focus on business, do your businesses, expand your business empire, clean your name, focus. If there's going to be a possibility of a constitutional amendment, please pursue it. Even in parliament, you can sponsor members of parliament to review that particular law, because in the future, what that ruling means, by the way, is that as long as you are impeached, you cannot hold office. So assuming today there's a serious governor who is challenging a sitting president, and the governor wants to contest, what the sitting president would do, he would simply engineer the removal of that governor from office. And once that governor is removed from office, he will have no option. It's that simple. He will stand impeached, and the fact that he will stand impeached, he will not have any opportunity to contest. So that ruling can actually be misused. So Sonko can figure out that the best thing is to participate in this election by sponsoring candidates for various seats in parliament. Then they can engineer review of that particular law. So that is, for me, is the first thing. But exit politics. You can only do these things when you are out. He can't succeed when he's trying to pursue the Mombasa gubernatorial election in this particular election. Number two, I also tend to think that Sonko can continue fighting for justice at the courts. That is his second option. But for me, I'm seeing it, he's taking it as the first option. For me, his second option after quitting politics is to go to court, fight that particular law. If the East African Court of Justice will not give him justice, because what Sonko needs is not to win Mombasa. Sonko is still a young man. He has the potential of becoming the president of the Republic of Kenya. I know most of you might laugh, but Sonko has that potential of becoming the next president of the Republic of Kenya. So what you need to do, fight, and fight real hard. After fighting real hard, if he wins at the court, he will be able to contest again. But I don't see that's going to be possible unless someone will bring some constitutional amendment to the law. I'm foreseeing a situation, just like I explained, where that particular impeachment is going to be misused. So to stop it, it means someone, the first victim like Sonko, can engineer the amendment. Number three, Sonko can join the Azimio One Kenya Alliance. Why join Azimio? Sonko has a dirty past. Sonko has been fighting the deep state. He has business interest. Sonko has properties. There's a chance that Azimio is going to form the next government. That's a possibility. I'm not saying they are going to form. If Azimio is going to form the next government, then it would be good for Sonko to align himself with the government of the day. Because government of the day is the only one which can protect people like Sonko. If you will opt to join the business, then joining Azimio will help protect him. The truth of the matter is that majority of businessmen normally hide behind politics. So Sonko can decide that, okay, Azimio is going to win, so let me align myself with them. Once they win, I'll be close with the president, I'll be close with his government and the rest. Someone like Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is an opportunity, in my view, which Sonko can explore. Because I'm sure if Raila becomes the president through Azimio, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka is going to be the prime cabinet secretary. That's going to be a serious role in government. And with Sonko behind him, I don't see anything which will stop Sonko from achieving his objectives. There are so many powerful individuals in these countries who are more powerful than even the governors, but they are not in government. Sonko can do that because for politics, he's now completely locked out of it. Number four, Sonko can decide to punish President Uhuru Kenyatta and punish Raila Odinga by supporting Ruto. The truth of the matter is that there are many Kenyans who believe very strongly, and I was just watching a clip here, who believes very strongly that Sonko has been locked out for political reasons. And that he's been locked out by Raila and Uhuru. Of course, I don't buy that because we all know that Sonko was impeached. And the fact that he was impeached means he's out of the race. But by joining Ruto, it means Sonko can join Ruto when Ruto becomes the president. Then Ruto can review, the Ruto I know, can review this particular law. And then once that law is reviewed, Sonko will have the opportunity to make a comeback. The only fear is that once Ruto becomes the president, by law is supposed to defend the constitution. So it will be very hard for him to engineer an amendment to the constitution. He would want the constitution of Kenya to remain the way it is, because if anything, he opposed BBI because he wanted BBI to, he wanted the constitution to be retained the way it is. But supporting Ruto is an option which he has. The only problem is if he supports Ruto and then Ruto is defeated, where will he go? These guys will not forgive him. So I tend to think that's another option. And lastly, his last option, which for me is another good one. I know Wiper will have the opportunity to sponsor another candidate. IEBC will give them that window to replace the name of Sonko. And there were indications that they were planning to replace the name of Sonko with Ali Mbogo. Now, Sonko can take a lead in campaigning for Ali Mbogo in Mombasa. He can fund Ali Mbogo's campaign and then agree with him that you are going to be the governor of Mombasa. But for me, I'm coming with this percentage. You are going to give me half of the cabinet, so that Sonko is going to nominate, let's say, 5 cabinet ministers in that government, or even 6. They're going to share other positions in government. Then once they do that, once they win, then they can do that. Then Sonko will still be able to do whatever he wanted to do as a governor of Mombasa. Because if anything, why was Sonko leaving Nairobi to go to Mombasa? It means there's something he wanted to do for the people of Mombasa. He can do that as long as he has his people in the cabinet. I don't know what you think, but for me, Those are the options available for Mike Mbuvi Sonko. But it is the end of the road for Sonko. Sonko, Kenyans loved you. But the deep state, you are fighting with the deep state. You are suffering the consequences. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.